Well, what is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to A Therapeutic Edge. I have got something on the table by way of the most amazing Dirk Werning. I will post a link to his channel in the description. A while back, I realized that I was a little shy on content for the coming month or so, and reached out to some friends, and a couple of people just absolutely stepped up. Scott Williams of Big Bore Knife and Gear sent us an enormous box filled with a ton of knives. And Dirk Werning, who has one of the most fundamentally amazing knife collections I have ever seen, sent me a box of absolute joy. And in that box was this. Now, I like big knives. Okay, so did you put that there, right? Because it's a dinosaur. I mean, look, it looks like a dinosaur. I love, big knives. I do. The XM24, our old friend, the Kaiser Cane. These are big pocket-filling knives. And a slightly more ridiculous, thing. We've got the Sniper Blade Works here, right? This is a big, beefy, thick boy, right? Nice knife, though. This thing on the table is something else entirely. I mean, what is it? Well, this is the Phil Harvey Warcrime. And it is ridiculous in the best way possible. I don't know what else to say. This is one of those sort of knife-making experiments. Like, I can just see Mr. Harvey, as he's putting this together, saying, what if I made it just a little thicker? Just a little big. Just a little. And then there was this. It is phenomenal. This is a cold steel Formax. This is a big knife. Nope. Not compared to our friend the Warcrime here. Now, they're not that much different in dimensions this way, but oh my God. Right? I mean, this thing is... All right. The Warcrime is a full custom. It is handmade. It would have to be. It has a pocket clip. You can, in fact, put it in the pocket, although you need a good strong belt or suspenders. I love this knife. I mean, do I carry it? No, of course not. Well, first, it's very expensive. I don't know how much these things run there. I have to assume they're thousands of dollars. But that's not really the point. This is an expression of what's possible, much more than what's practical. I love that full-length backspacer. Now, everything is titanium. The blade is Dirk thinks D2, which is what Phil Harvey works in a lot. Speaking of the blade... I mean, come on. It looks like a dinosaur. The name of the knife is, as I mentioned, the Warcrime. I don't love that so much. It's not necessary. They could have named this thing the Brontosaurus, the T-Rex, the Stabosaurus. In fact, that's what we're going to call it from now on. This is the Stabosaurus Rex. I don't even know. It is outrageously big, and yet really well done. I have big hands, and I can sort of get a grip on this thing. I can't quite close up. I mean, it's... Well, okay, let's take a look at what you get. I just love this thing. Is this a review? No, not really. This is more of a love letter. The blade is at its thickest. Line that up. 3/4 of an inch thick from edge to edge. At the pivot, it's a full 1/4 inch of what we are saying is D2. Now it could be, yeah, okay, of what we are saying is D2. It's a full 1/4 inch at the pivot. The scales are just slightly over a 1/4 of an inch thick. They are not milled, meaning there's some shaping through here. The back spacer is also a 1/4 inch thick, which, if you can do math, and I'm bad at it, means the knife itself is over 3/4 of an inch. The math doesn't make sense. That's a 1/4 inch. That's a 1/4 inch. Oh, I see. It's because to make space. At its thinnest back here, it's 3/4 of an inch back here, but up towards the top, it's over 3/4 of an inch. And it flares again as you get down towards the tail end of the knife. Now, it is reasonably sharp. Dirk says this needs to go back to Phil for a sharpening. In a knife like this, you'd want to send it back to the maker. But there's an edge here. Has a little bit of an, you can get your finger up here if you're going to be doing close work. That's really not what this is for. Knives that are for work, like our old friend the Bug Out, or even the Formax, which is a straight beast mode work knife, follow kind of a basic pattern. They don't really stretch themselves too much. I mean, you can go really crazy. You can go Espada if you want to go even longer than the Warcrime here. But this is still fundamentally, basically a pocket knife. Oh, it's out of frame. There we go. The Warcrime is an artistic expression of what is possible in knife design using familiar materials and familiar deployment method to create something entirely different. This is a weapon open, and it is, it's a spear point, right? So, or maybe that's more of a spike. It's a spike point. By way of example, you can just about fit the Bug Out closed inside the blade. Seriously, look at this. Dirk, my man, your taste is beyond belief, and the fact that you can find stuff like this and bring it home and make it part of your collection makes me stupid happy. Why not? You can grip it up like this. You're gonna just cut open all your boxes with it. I don't know. To close it, it's a frame lock, as you can see, and we're locked up at about 25%, 20%. You move this out of the way, and the blade will, in fact, drop shut very nicely. The action is surprisingly good. The flipper tab is surprisingly small. And, yeah, it does take a little flick, because this blade probably weighs more than 2 or 3 other pocket knives. Closing it is fine. Like I said, you can, if you hold it this way, it'll pop right open because you use the weight of the blade. I've seen Phil Harvey's other knives on his Instagram page. He is a fan of the ridiculous and absurd, and therefore I am a fan of Phil Harvey's. That was a lot of sounds. I've had this in the house for a couple of weeks, and Dirk was asking me how I liked it. I'm not gonna lie, I come home from work and I just carry it around. Because why wouldn't you? I've got fixed blades that are smaller than this. I mean, do we really need to? All right, let's do the size comparison. So let's get the specs out of the way. As I said, it's almost an inch this way, 3/4 of an inch this way, right? Over 3/4 of an inch here. The blade is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you go to here, it's 5 inches of what we're thinking is D2. To back here, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and a half. Yep, 5.5 inches. The grip area from behind that flipper monster, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 3/4 inches. It is, as I said, 3/4 of an inch thick. The pocket clip alone is thicker than the bug out. The knife overall, from tip to tail, if we get that lined up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.5 inches. Hey, Bob, I'm going to go out and do some barbecue, and you got a knife I can use to cut up them hot dogs? No. Hey, Bob, I'm mad at that Ford Fairlane out in the parking lot. You got something I can stab it to death with? Yes. Yes, I do. Let's weigh it. Let's weigh it. All right. Let's weigh it and see what happens. This knife weighs 1 pound, 4 ounces. The Sniper Blade Works DMF here weighs almost 10 ounces. Our old friend, the 4 Max, God, I love this knife, 10.3 ounces. The 4 Max and the XM24 together weigh less than the Warcrime. In fact, I can add the bug out. Yeah, that's it. These 3 knives together weigh within 1/10 of an ounce of the same as the Warcrime. Oh, that was graceful. I'm going to open it again. Oh, God, that is fantastic. So what do you think? Am I going to recommend that you guys go out and get one of these? No. However, if you want something in your collection that's a knife, but also more than a knife, stuff like this has a real draw. It's beautiful in its own right. Now, that is an aesthetic thing. Some of you are going to look at this and think it's absurd, and I get that, and it is ridiculous. But it's beautiful because of what it is. It's beautiful because it's ridiculous. This is a medieval weapon turned folding knife. I'll put Phil Harvey's Instagram in the description of this video. I will put a link to Dirk Werning's YouTube channel in the description of this video. If you like stuff like this or just find it interesting, go check out Dirk's YouTube channel. He has a lot of stuff. I mean, nothing's quite like this, but he's got a lot of stuff in this same vein. I don't. So I have really enjoyed having this around the house. Thank you so much, Dirk, and all of you for watching. This bit of weaponized art is the Phil Harvey Warcrime, and it is truly fascinating, well made and interesting, and it's just been a joy to have around. And that's where we're going to wrap it up. Thank you so much for watching. I have been a Therapeutic Edge. This has been a experience. I hope you guys are having a great day. We'll see you next time.